Hi, friends. Amy here. This was our second episode ever, and I'm now listening to it in 2025. Yeesh. Okay, we talked for 30 minutes before getting to any sort of content. And so I went back and re-edited it slightly. You're welcome.
I thought I saw something crawling from out under the bed, which they might actually see.
How are the fur babies today?
Oh, they're good. What the listeners don't know that you do is that my little precious little girl, Yorkie, murdered a squirrel.
She's so innocent looking. That's where she gets you,
boy.
Vivian.
And so now she just wants to go out constantly.
She has a taste for blood now.
Yes, exactly. And now that it's cold, it's cold as shit.
Frigid. Like
And so-
Antarctica isn't as cold as we are right now.
It's cold. Right now, it's -4, according to my computer. But when I got in my car this morning to take my stepmom to the doctor, it was -27. So, when I have to put on my boots, put on my coat, put on my gloves, and then she's in a jacket that has a little ring on it so I can put her on a leash. Because if she just runs free in the backyard, she'll never come back.
Okay.
Because she just wants to run around constantly.
For a second, I still thought we were talking about your stepmother. It was like, what's she gonna run away? Like, what?
She can't even see. Where's she gonna go?
I was like, what? And you were like, yeah, it's got a little hole in it, so I can put her on a leash. And I'm like, what are you doing? I was
my God,
confused. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. No, that's my fault.
This is the little doggy. Yeah. So
she's vicious.
And the dog's the one that got the squirrel.
Not your stepmother.
Not my stepmother. So yeah. So it takes us, it's a big production, to put everything on and get everything on and get out there. And then we get out there and she won't do anything. But she gets so excited before I open the door that she's going out that she makes all these weird like demon sounds. And then she tries to run. And of course she's on a 16-foot tether. So it's not around her throat. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's on her back. But
don't come for us.
But she gets, but she gets so wound up. And I think it's because she had that little taste of
that little rush
murder.
of adrenaline. Yeah. A little blood. Hello, and welcome back to The Activity Continues. I'm Megan.
And I'm Amy, and we're so glad you're back. It is January 20th today, and it's cold, and we're both drinking Baileys.
Yes.
In mugs. I have coffee in mine, but it is decaf because it's nighttime.
Yeah. It's 8:50 tonight p.m. I've got a mug that says naughty with a little Santa hat. And my mother-in-law gave that to me for Christmas with a matching one that says nice.
Oh, cute.
I know, but I didn't want to put the alcohol in the nice one because
would sully it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to taint it.
Okay. So this is our second episode, and we had a blast doing the first one. We hope you guys had fun listening to it. I had fun editing it. I tell you, it took me an entire day because we did end up talking for like 2+ hours and I had to edit it down. We blabbed for, I think it was 18 minutes before we actually got into any sort of content.
In our defense, we haven't really talked. Like we text obviously back and forth, but we haven't, I think the last time we saw each other like and talked with our vocal cords and not our hands was the comedy show we went to. And that was, when was that? That was December for sure.
Yeah.
Or was it November?
It was Christmas time.
Yeah. Oh, that was funny. I forget her name, but John still talks about her. He actually just talked about her.
Mary Mack. Her name was Mary Mack.
You loved her.
She was hilarious.
Yeah, she was so funny.
Yeah, we went to Acme Comedy Club and saw Mary Mack and a couple other people. And it was It was very funny.
It was so funny. She's good.
Yeah, she is. She was really good. Yeah, so that was probably the last time we saw each other.
Yeah. So that's probably why we gabbed for
you know what?
almost
I
20
think
minutes.
actually, I think it was in October because
that's
I
right.
was
It was
thinking
your
it was because I
birth-
brought you a gift, but it was because it was your birthday.
Yes. Holy shit.
Because at Acme, you get for your birthday month, you can get free tickets. And I got free tickets. And since your birthday's in October also,
Yeah.
the four of us went. Yep. It was October.
What?
I know.
No.
Isn't that crazy? Time flies.
Oh my God.
It's not even funny.
Time flies
the
in a
older you get, the
pandemic.
worse it gets.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Amy got a really funny clip of me trying to start a sentence 4 times.
Oh my
And-
God. Yeah. Megan's like, how's the editing going? And I'm like, I am laughing my ass off. I know I should just make it a ringtone. It was hilarious.
It was so funny.
Oh boy. A couple other things I wanted to see if anybody wanted to offer up their help to create some artwork for our future episodes.
Yeah.
I just basically throw stuff together in Canva and it works well. It's fine. It's a great tool. But for my other podcast, I have a friend who likes to do some artwork. And so she has drawn a few things for me. And sorry, Megan's being goofy. So she has drawn some stuff for me and it really adds to the thing, I think, to have artwork that's created for that episode specifically
by people like
by somebody that
talent
cares. Yeah. Not just like taking a stock photo and making it pretty, which is fine. And it's cool. And a lot of people do that. But I thought if anybody has skills and wants to do that, let us know and we'll let you know ahead of time what we're doing. And you'll have like a week to get us some artwork. And
sure,
we won't be able to pay you, but we'll pay you in
totally
thanks.
And we'll totally mention you on the show.
Yep. And give you credit and all of that.
And if you have like an Instagram or anything, we'll tag you in that too. So
yep, for sure. So also we would like to take recommendations for your favorite episodes of the Dead Files that you would like us to cover. So go ahead and send us a message on the website or email us or DM us or however you want to reach us. There's lots and lots of ways. All the
email is
email
is the activity continues.
Yep. The activity continues at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And then also we would love to tell your ghost stories if you have any paranormal stuff that you want to tell us. So hit us up with that stuff.
Because we've had our own experiences and we would love to hear about yours.
Yeah.
Because Amy has had some wicked ones. Her last house was Soup's haunted.
Yeah, it was definitely haunted. Definitely. And in fact, the other podcast I have came about because my friend Melissa met a ghost at our house and told me about it. And I started researching the person because it was a famous person. And it led to doing a podcast. I don't know if Melissa is like a medium, but she's definitely sensitive and she sees that kind of stuff. And speaking of Melissa, she is the one that wrote this lovely theme song for this podcast.
It was the first time I heard it. Chills. So good.
So good.
I want to make it a ringtone.
Oh, that's a good idea. See, that's something we could do and put on Patreon.
Yeah. She's so amazing.
She's so talented.
Yes,
she has her own podcast. I think she has like 10 podcasts, to be honest with you. But her biggest podcast is called The Skylark Bell. And it is her reading and sort of acting out to a story that she wrote. She originally started writing it many years ago and then kind of let it go for a little bit and then brought it back out. And I told her she should make a podcast out of it. And she's like, what's a podcast? So how
cute.
I got to get her obsessed with that a little bit. And so I created a monster now. Like I said, I think she has 10 podcasts. But
if anybody is the person to get people into podcasting, it's you.
Yeah. If you ever need recommendations for if it's something that I listen to, like a genre that I listen to, I have some recommendations, right?
Mhm.
Like I couldn't really give you engineering podcasts or anything, but
No.
true crime,
Yeah.
self-help, feel good,
Yeah.
paranormal, I don't know what else.
Historical. I've got a couple historical ones.
Dark Histories is really good. I like to listen, to go to sleep to that one.
Oh, I go to sleep to Dictators on Spotify. Yeah,
I don't think I know that one.
Oh, it's good. Mythologies is another one that I really like. That's a Parcast one. So is Dictators, and then another Parcast one is Mythical Monsters.
Okay.
Those are kind of the top three. Oh, and Myths and Legends. That's my number one that I go to sleep to is Myths
I think
and
that one I
Legends.
used to listen to. I don't know if I know I haven't listened to anything from it for a while. I'm probably still subscribed. But yeah, so we had a whole long discussion on podcasts when we recorded last time that I cut out. So I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe we'll merge these two together and give you guys a special bonus episode of just podcast talk. But at any rate, we wanted to give Melissa a shout out because she did an amazing job, and she always does. She wrote the song for my other podcast, Collected Sounds. Which is
I love that one. The story
song.
You just wrote, or not wrote, but read on it. Oh my God. I forget what it's called. But man, it's the one with all the metaphors, where the person is talking about like Lydia lost her heart, or she gave her heart away. And, it was so good.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah. The last episode, of Collected Sounds, I read the story called The Eyes Have It by Philip K. Dick.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
It's about a man who's reading a story or a book, and he's taking everything that is written very literally. So like when he said, when her eyes followed him down the garden path, he thinks her eyes fell out of her head and rolled behind the guy down the path. And
she gave him her heart, and he was like, how is she surviving without a heart?
How can she live without a heart?
Yeah, I put it on to go to sleep. No offense, Amy. I always feel weird when I say
that's
that.
That's what it's for.
And then I'm like, okay, but I can't go to sleep because this is like so interesting. So
it was funny. It was a funny one.
It was a good one.
The other ones I did are all ghost stories, but that was a funny one. Yeah, I picked a funny one.
And ironically, I can't listen to those before bed because I get too scared. 37 years old. It's fine.
And then there's me that listens to Forensic Files to go to sleep.
Okay, but that's different.
But I know you do too.
I do. Only to nap though. I did. Oh, I listen at night too. But I did take a Forensic Files nap today. I was watching Yellow Jackets. I started watching that because I had a friend that was basically threatening me to watch it. Aggressive. And so I had to go get my 30-day free trial of Showtime so I could watch it. And it is very good. But I started to fall asleep toward the end of the episode I watched today. And it's not because it wasn't good. It was very, very good. But I was just tired. Well, you've been
I was like,
4.
Flip on Forensic Files and gonk.
I tell you what, Forensic Files and Sir David Attenborough's BBC documentaries, the best naps in the world.
Yeah, he's got a great place.
Ain't no nap like a Forensic Files nap.
That is,
I tell you what,
absolutely true.
God,
that is a soundbite right there.
Yeah. Oh, Peter Thomas, rest in peace, man. You had it going on.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
All right. I suppose we should get into it.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's already 9. So,
I know, right?
We've been yammering for half an hour now. Don't worry, I'll cut a lot of it out. Okay, so today Megan's going to go first, and she is covering season 10, episode 7, which is called The Cult, and it originally aired on July 27th, 2018.
And Amy will be covering an episode that aired January 24th, 2014 called Innocent Blood. And it is from season 3. But there's, again, with the Hulu thing, some confusion about the episode number. So on Hulu, it is season 3, episode 12. But on Discovery Plus, it's season 3, episode 13. And then on Wikipedia, it's actually season 3, episode 14.
Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't look into why Wikipedia is different, but the difference between Hulu and Discovery is that Discovery Plus has an extra episode at the beginning of season 3 that is not on Hulu.
Is that the Lost one?
I don't know if
Or is
it's
that
the Lost
no, that's
one.
season 2. That's season 2. Yeah. That one's neat. I think maybe one of us could cover that because that just talks about how the show got started, I think.
Yeah. And I did link to that one in the show notes of the last episode. So you guys can all go watch that. Okay. So, and Megan is going to go first tonight since I went first last time.
That's called sharing and taking turns.
It's called taking turns.
So this one's heavy, you guys. This is mentioned. So it's called The Cult. And this is covering the house where the Tate and LaBianca murders took place back in the 60s. So definitely a lot of negative shit associated with this house. And as we'll see, it actually goes back way before those murders. And so it starts with Steve interviewing Nancy. And so Nancy's this really lovely lady. She bought this house with her own money and she was so excited to buy it. This is her dream house. And she thinks it's trying to kill her. The interview with her and Steve she's very emotional. She's crying. She said she feels like she's trapped in hell. She said she feels punished every day. And she said some days she doesn't want to wake up. Like it's just terrible there. She said she's experienced the paranormal since she was young. Some things that she says, she'll hear footsteps throughout the house. She sees shadow figures, which are never good. She gets touched. She'll wake up, and we'll go into that in a bit, but she'll wake up with bruises. She has nightmares. And since moving in, she's had extreme health issues. She's developed MS. She's developed a brain tumor. She's going blind in her left eye. Sometimes she can't feel her legs. So lots going on physically wise, medical wise, because of this house. And so Steve was like, why don't you just move, like fucking leave? And she can't. She says she has to stay financially, which it's tough using. It's tough to just pack up and sell a house. Like some people can't. We can't just be like, all right, well, it's Tuesday. I'm going to sell my house on Thursday and move on Friday.
Yeah.
So they go in the master bedroom, and this is where a lot of the activity is. She'll get touched. She said she gets caressed there. Like I said, she wakes up bruised, like she's been grabbed. Like she'll see actual like handprints on her skin, but she lives alone. She says she has strong mood swings. She'll go from 0 to I want to fucking murder somebody. She even says, I'll go from 0 to I want to kill my cat. And just like in the blink of an eye. She said she feels like somebody is attached to her or something is attached to her. Her friends tell her they don't want to be around her anymore. They say she's not the same person. Part of it is because of these mood swings. She'll just get furious. I don't blame her friends. I wouldn't want to be around somebody like that.
Yeah.
In the master bedroom, she sees a shadow figure. She thinks it's a man, just gives off that energy. And she says other people in the house see it too, like friends that have visited. She said they will actually answer the door thinking there's somebody there. They see somebody passing outside and they'll go to answer the door. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
I need an old priest and a young priest. She says she has extreme nightmares. She says it's tough for her to sleep. She doesn't get a lot of sleep. She dreams she's being attacked by a demon. And she said she feels like it's intentionally attacking her. Like this isn't just a dream. She said she feels like it's intentional. Mm-hmm. So then Steve interviews a couple of her friends. Her first friend is Jody. She agrees the house is causing Nancy's health to decline. She said she was totally fine. She was vivacious. She was the life of the party. She didn't say her smile lit up a room, so that's good to know.
Well, then she's not going to get murdered.
She's not going to get murdered. Yeah. But she said she'll get angry for no reason. And then when Jody said she's in the house, she said she has a creepy feeling. She doesn't like being there alone. She said she feels like somebody is standing behind her watching her, and she does want Nancy to leave. She wants her to get out. Then we move to Nicole. Nicole is one of my favorites in this episode because she's very she's a sensitive too. And during the reveal, both her and Nancy say that they felt people die before. Nicole said she's felt people take their own lives. And, Nicole is like, I don't know how you do this. Like, I couldn't do it. I'm like, same, Nicole. I don't, it's a gift that I would not want.
Right.
So Nicole has known Nancy for 13 years. She said that she spent the night there before she had a nightmare. She dreamt she was being pulled on, like pulled down. And she said she felt she was clawing up at something, a higher power, almost like trying to reach for help. And she said hands were holding her back. Something was holding her, pulling her back in the dream. She said she feels it's a demonic dream. She gets hit throughout the house. She said she'll get hit in the neck. She'll feel cut. And she 1,000% thinks Nancy is in danger. She talks about her health declining. She said Nancy isn't getting better. She's getting worse from being in this house. And so then we go to the outside investigation.
Digging through the archives.
And so here's where we learn about the Manson family. And so this place is 2 miles from Spawn Ranch, which, as you may or may not know, is the name of the ranch where the Manson family hung out and, did their fucking shit. So in 1969, we have the infamous Tate and LaBianca murder. So this is where Sharon Tate and 5 of her friends were brutally murdered. And then the next night, the LaBiancas, and I forget their names, and I'm very sorry, they were murdered in their house the next night by was it 4 women? I think it was 4 women, because I remember the trial. I don't remember the trial. I was negative like 30 years, but what? Yeah, you might have been. But you were young.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it until I was much, much older.
Yeah. So then there was also Donald Shea, and he was actually murdered on Spawn Ranch. And they think Manson was worried that he would tell what they had done at the Tate murder and the LaBianca murder. And so they stabbed him and they hit him over the head with a shovel. And that's how he died.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't know about him. Also, I didn't know this either. There was a second cult closer to the property than Spawn Ranch.
Oh, yeah.
It was about a half a mile away. It was called the Fountain of the World. And it was run by a man named Francis Penkovic. He was a Jewish World War II vet, and he believed he was Jesus Christ. And he renamed himself Krishna Venta. And so, as with many cult leaders, he was taking money from his patrons and spending that money in Vegas. He would go to Vegas, not saying many cult leaders do this, but many cult leaders misuse funds.
Of course.
Jim Jones.
Yeah.
So he also began sleeping with his followers' wives. Not great.
No.
So in 1958, 2 former followers of his strapped 20 sticks of dynamite to themselves and did a suicide bomber mission and killed him. 10 people were killed in total. And then in 1968, it was actually rumored that Charles Manson visited this cult, and it was rumored that that is where he got some of his beliefs for his own fucked up.
This is great. I'm going to start my own.
Yeah. Fucking
Gross.
cults. Call your dad. So then we go to Dina Rivera Pitt, and I hope I'm saying her name right. And she was a historian. So here's where we get some history on the actual property. So Miguel Leon was a French baron, and he came into the area in 1854 to settle down. Here's where we get our super great white men and indigenous people interaction. So in 1859, he entered into a common law marriage with an indigenous woman named Esperatu. They called her Native American, but I think we don't use that term anymore. If we do, I apologize. I thought it was indigenous people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I thought Native American was still okay, but I know mostly you say indigenous. Yeah.
So whether that was voluntary on her end, I'm going to speculate probably not. And he had a violent streak. He was obsessed with expanding his real estate empire and expanding his wealth. And so essentially he ended up tricking his father-in-law into signing over the land to Miguel to protect it from the United States government, because his father-in-law was an indigenous person, and then just never signed it back. He just kept it. So once he had his property, he then turned his sights to his neighbor's property, and he hounded them until they left, burned their crops, bribed judges. He intimidated witnesses, pretty much whatever he could do to get property, he did, and eventually ended up with 11,000 acres to his name. Yeah, pretty big area. So while traveling through the Kwanga Pass with 3 other people, somehow he fell off of the wagon and was crushed by the wheels. And so he died by good riddance. So then this is the last bit of history, and then we're getting to Amy's walk. I'm sorry, this is a really long one. I don't know why it's so long. So then we go to retired Officer Cheryl Dorsey, and she is amazing. I love her hair. It's like very beautiful, like African-American curly hair, but it's gray.
It's gray. Yeah, I saw a picture of her when I was.
Oh, it was gorgeous. She's the
when I was looking
thumbnail
through
in Discovery Plus when you click on the thumbnail for the episode.
That's what I saw. Yep.
So I didn't quite catch all the names. In 1973, there was a woman named Alice, and she and her husband purchased the house. And then in 1977, Alice was killed in a car accident. She was broadsided by another car. This car was going 70 miles an hour.
Jeez.
Her car was hit so fast that the engine shot out of her car. So that's how hard
that
she
can
was
happen.
hit. I guess so. That's what was
crazy.
said. Steve said it. So it was on the TV show.
Well, if Steve said it.
If Steve said it and it was on TV.
Yeah.
That doesn't lie.
Yep.
So she had multiple injuries, internal injuries. She died on the scene. And so that's kind of the last bit of history we get. And then we get to Amy's walk. Oof. Immediately when she arrives, she's just like, she feels the negativity and she hates this place. She said she feels like a black hole. She said, you are literally in the pit of hell when she arrives there.
Jeez.
So the living and the dead are so meshed that they're kind of living in each other's realities. She said there's 2 sensitives who are consistently on the property. And I believe that's Nancy and that's Nicole, because they both said that they're sensitives. And most of the entities that are there are negative. There are very few positive things in this area, which given the history of the area, I don't.
No surprise.
Yeah. So she goes in the living room and she has a lot of physical pain there. She has pain in her neck, pain in her head, pain in her stomach. She said there's a dead woman tied to a living person, and the dead woman hates the living person, hates her. She said that the dead woman feels trapped by the living person. And she said she's making a weird noise, a combination of growling and screaming, and she wants to bite the living person. And then she also says there's negative energy, what most people would call a demon, lives in that house.
Oh, God.
And so she said the living can hear her breathing, and the living would see shadow people going back and forth. And so she goes into the master bedroom, and she said the person in here would have nightmares constantly. She said she doesn't know how anybody sleeps in this room. She sees something crawl out from under the bed, like a bug creature. And she said the living might see that. She said she has head pain again, and the pain is awful. She's just excruciating. And she said this is where the demon lives, is in that bedroom. So then we go outside, and Amy said everything around this house should be demolished. She said it should just be razed.
Just knock it down.
Yeah, just knock it the fuck down. I don't know why anybody would want to live in that house, to be completely honest. The history, the brutal death, I can't imagine. And then she herself suddenly gets enraged on camera. She said, I'm suddenly super enraged. She said, I can feel my blood pressure going up.
Amy did?
Oh. Yeah. She doesn't really change. She just says, I'm enraged. She just
knows it's coming.
She knows what's going on. And she said the dead come from all over. She said somebody is bringing the dead here, and she thinks it might be the sensitives. She thinks they might be attracted to them because they're sensitives, and they, the dead might feel like they can help them.
Yeah.
So she sees 8 people who were murdered within the last 60 years. She said she saw 5 people grouped together who died together, and then 2 people who died together. And then she said she had a horrible pain on her face, just like she was hit in the head. And then she said she saw another male who died, but not with a group of the 7 that she saw. She said she feels like he was hit in the head. And then she sees a young woman in her 20s, and this woman is trying to stop Amy from going further. She said, you don't want this. She told Amy to turn around.
Oh.
And then Amy said she showed her blood. She just said blood everywhere. So then we cut to the reveal. No, we don't cut to the reveal. I'm cutting to the reveal. So Amy meets with Nancy, the owner of the house, and her friend Nicole, who's the other sensitive. And Amy tells Nancy that there are environmental factors associated with house that are drawing the dead and also drawing the living. She says it attracts the living sensitives by kind of giving them positive vibes. Like you walk in and initially you're like, this is a great house. This is my dream house. But she said it's totally false. She said there's so much negative in this area. And then she talked about, she saw 5 people on a couch, which was the Tate murders. She saw 2 people on a love seat, which was the LaBiancas. And then she said she witnessed the murder of Sharon Tate, which good God.
I know. I saw this one a long time ago.
Yeah,
and
you
I
were the one that
remember,
told me to watch it.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I remember I was like, you have to watch this one. You have to watch this one. And I had forgotten most of what you just talked about, but I do remember Amy saying that she saw Sharon Tate's murder. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I mean,
I know that every murder is terrible, but I feel like that has to be one of the worst.
It's one of the real bad ones because she was pregnant and there's that whole thing too. Yeah.
I can't. Roman Polanski, is that who she was married to?
I think so.
Yeah. So then she showed the 2 sketches, the screaming woman and the demon.
Okay. Do you want me to show those?
Sure.
Okay. So the first one is the one where the thing is on somebody's back.
Somebody's back. Yep. And so in the sketch, the woman is on this person's back and is tilting her, like pushing their head down to expose their neck, kind of like a vampire would, and is trying to bite their neck. And she's got this look of just pure rage on her face. And she's kind of crouched on the back with her knees drawn up, like a piggyback ride, essentially.
Yeah.
But a very bad one.
She's like hanging on her back, like, yeah.
And trying to bite her neck.
I'll post these on socials too, by the way.
And then the other sketch was a demon. And my friends said that it kind of looks like Roger from American Dad, but like a dark Roger. So it's got a huge, very, very dark, long, straight hair. And Amy was very specific. It does not have a jaw. So the lower jaw is completely gone.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And so
it looks like bird feet. It looks like it has claws too.
Yes.
Oh, you can't really see that well.
Yep. So yeah, she said it. She specifically talked about the claws and how that's what she saw. So she told Nancy she cannot stay there, which fucking duh.
Yeah.
She said, you cannot stay here. She said, whatever is here is going to continually try to hurt you. So she told her when she is ready to leave the house forever, she needs to get a Reiki master and a psychic knower. The psychic knower will help the screaming woman detach from Nancy and move on. So Nancy can, start fresh somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So the end of it said, Nancy's looking for a new house and the activity continues.
I always wonder, like they sit there at these reveals and she's told them they should go or they're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go, oh, yep, we're going to do it. And Steve says, are you going to take Amy's advice? And they say, yep, absolutely. Absolutely. My family's more important than my house. And then they do the update 6 weeks later. Yeah, we're thinking about looking for another house. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have gone home that night. I would have been in a hotel that night and I would not have gone back.
I would be staying with Amy.
Yeah.
I would be like, Amy, there's a demon in my house.
Yeah.
No, I would not go back. I mean, it's like the Amityville Horror. 28 days and they fled with the clothes on their back.
Yeah.
That's what, and you know what is crazy about that one is nobody else who's lived in that house has said they've had any activity.
That's so weird. And so do you think that like these demon crazy people I shouldn't say crazy, these demon and spirit people are are actually doing something to living people who are there, but they're not sensitive, so they don't know what's happening. I mean, do you think there's still like they attach themselves to other people and hung around on other people's backs, but because they're not sensitive, they didn't feel it?
I've never thought of that, because I know with the Amityville house, there's a lot of controversy with that family, and there's a lot of talk that they faked it. But that's a really good point. Maybe people who are just completely null can't, but you would think that they would feel, or they would hear the objects moving, or the doors opening, or, you know, when they get really scary and they move all the furniture. Yeah. Scares me. Yeah. No, thank you. Hard pass.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. You did a good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'm excited to listen to yours.
Okay. So I picked mine because when I saw it the first time, I really liked this family. At first, I thought like it's a woman, Sue, and her husband, Joe, and they have 3 children. And I thought Joe was kind of like a hard ass and like, I'm all tough and everything. And then, well, I'll get to it, but he changed my mind. So
don't you love it when they do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this takes place in Rome, New York, which
another New York one.
That's right. I guess I didn't realize I was doing 2 New Yorks in a row. So homeowners
New York represent.
Well, I do have a special place in my heart for New York, or New York City anyway.
How come?
Well, because I went there for work in 2008. Oh boy. 2008. I was working for a real estate company. That was the company I worked for. It was a small boutique one, and it was becoming a national brand. So we had to go out there and train with the national franchise company.
Is this where you worked with our cupcake friend?
Cupcake friend.
She makes the cupcakes with the doggies.
Oh, no, that was a different real estate place.
Okay. All right.
That was the place where the woman I worked for screamed at me and threw stuff at me and made me cry on my first day.
Fun.
Yeah.
She sounds like a joy.
She was a delight, let me tell you. But I did get a very good friend out of it. So that was
actually made the cupcakes for my wedding.
For your wedding, and they were delicious.
Oh my God, I didn't even get to, we had a fall wedding and we had a hot chocolate cupcake, and neither my husband nor I got to try one of those.
I had that one.
Did you? Yeah, that's right, you did. Yeah.
I had that one, and then Greg had another one, and we split them both. So we got to try them both. Yeah, they were delicious. Of course.
I don't know
everything
Erin
makes is good.
But
she's magic, I swear.
It's magic.
She's so good.
She puts crack in them.
I know. And she doesn't even eat sweets. So she doesn't even like, she likes some stuff, but she doesn't like chocolate. I'm like, what is going on there?
Yeah.
So yeah, she doesn't like peanut butter either. So like a Reese's peanut butter cup would be her hell, and it's
her nemesis.
My heaven.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. She's a gift. She's gifted. Anyways.
Yeah. So it wasn't at that place. It was a different place. Anyway, so I was out there. It was in New Jersey, our training, but we flew into New York City and we bummed around New York City until it was time to go to our hotel that night. Mm-hmm. And then the training took place the next day. And then we went back to New York City and bummed around for a day before we got on our flight. And I just love New York City. I got to Central Park, and I was walking through Central Park, and I was like, I feel like I'm home.
Wow.
I feel like I don't want to go back home. And I actually texted my husband and I said, I am walking through Central Park right now, and this is my place, and these are my people, and I'm not coming home. You need to gather up the dogs and come meet me here, because I'm not coming home. I loved it there so much.
I take it, given that you are not there, that plan did not work out.
Well, so as the last day we were there, and we were walking to a pizza parlor, carrying our luggage down the street. We walked like 18 blocks carrying our luggage. We didn't look weird at all.
No, not at all.
And,
I mean, given that it was New York City, you probably didn't.
Probably nobody even looked at us twice, except maybe they thought they'd rob us because, of course, we were tourists. But anyway, we were walking to this pizza place, and I saw a sign on a outside that said like the name of the company and the telephone number and the website for rentals.
Yeah,
for that place. So I made a note of what it was. I might have even taken a picture with my phone, and I was like, "This is where I want to live." Mm-hmm. And so we got home, and I looked it up and found out, first of all, it was in Hell's Kitchen. I didn't know we were in Hell's Kitchen. We're wandering around Hell's Kitchen. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It was cute to me.
Missed opportunity.
It didn't look scary at all to me.
Wait, is Hell's Kitchen scary?
Yeah, Hell's Kitchen is a little bit of a scary neighborhood.
Oh, I associate that with Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, well, okay. There is also a restaurant called Hell's Kitchen here that is very nice.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, Hell's Kitchen is it's a kind of a tough neighborhood.
Oh,
or at least it's notoriously been a tough neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't know if it still is.
Yeah.
But at any rate, I looked up that apartment building and it was more than my Victorian house cost per month. So I was like, well, that's not happening.
Well, there goes that dream.
Yep. Out the window. But I still love New York and I'd love to go back.
Nice.
But yeah. So I didn't realize that I had picked another New York one.
Yeah,
I mean, I
you
guess
did.
I wasn't really thinking about it, but I just really liked this one.
Yeah.
It had some really, well, when we get to the end and I tell you what Amy believes she saw, it was the first one of these that I had seen.
Really?
In the first time she had seen something like this in this TV show.
Interesting. Yeah.
Okay. So homeowners are Sue and Joe. They have 3 kids, Madison, Brooklyn, and Brooklyn is spelled Brook, Lynn. So
okay, so 2 words.
It's not Brooklyn like Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brooklyn,
It's Brooklyn.
and the little boy Joey, named after
Oh.
Dad. I know. He was a cutie too. I want to say Brooklyn was 8. Joey was maybe 5, and Madison was a little bit older than Brooklyn. 10 or I forgot how old she is. Anyway, at some point, months previous, Sue had moved out with the kids because the activity in the house was so bad, and because it was affecting Joe, it was making him angry.
The little boy,
changing his personality, and so she left with the kids, and she was gone for, I don't know, several months. And she had recently come back, and Steve asked her why she came back, and she said, because I just didn't want my family to break up. I didn't want my kids to, be raised by a single mom, and I love my husband, and I want to keep my family. And so then the first thing Amy sees when she gets there is what she called Native American activity.
Sure.
This was problems before the white man. There were battles within these spirits and them
really
battling with each other.
Wow.
And Joe had inherited this house from his grandparents, and he's very hesitant to leave. And that was another reason I didn't like him at first, because he was like, I don't care, I'm not leaving this my grandparents' house. And I thought he was like being a hard ass. And I was like, you know what? Your family is more important than a dumb building, but whatever. Then Steve is talking to him outside in the garage, and
he noticed he always talks to the guys in the garage.
I know.
He talked to Keith, and my guy from last week, in the garage too.
Let's go out to the garage and talk about the ladies over here and us.
And the tools and the sawdust and the motor oil. Feeling amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, Steve is talking to Joe outside in the garage, and he says, so what do you hope we can do? What do you hope is going to happen for us?
Yeah.
And Joe says, well, I don't want to have to lie to my kids. I don't want to have to keep things from them. And then he starts like getting all verklempt, and his throat catches, and he says that his wife is his life, and he doesn't know what he'd do without her. And so then I'm like, okay, uncle, you got me.
Yeah. You wore me down.
Yep. So what they experience is banging, knocking. The little boy Joey is terrified. He cries in his room all the time.
Jesus.
Brooklyn
That
hears.
right there might be enough to
I know. And Steve always says too, well, part of the reason we came so quick is that there was a child involved,
Yep.
And I used to watch Ghost Hunters, and
with Zach Bagans.
no, not that one.
Oh,
the one,
okay.
the one with it's Jason Hawes, and I can't remember the other guy's name. I want to say Luke, but that's not right. Anyway, Ghost Hunters it's another one where it's a group of paranormal people that go in and investigate, and they try to debunk everything. It's a great show. I watched it for many years. And it's still on. There's another like redux of it or whatever. But anyway, Brooklyn hears voices and Steve asks, was the TV on?
Steve,
oh, I didn't think about that. Of course it was the TV.
Yeah.
No, Steve, I know what a TV
Steve,
sounds like.
Guess you can pack up and leave. Right? But look at that. You debunked
Look at that.
it.
It was nothing.
It was 5 minutes in. It was fucking Sesame Street. It was Elmo.
Oh, Steve. I love how he's always trying to find. Was it the pipes?
I know. He tries.
Is it a shadow?
Like boozing?
Boozing?
Yeah,
you know that like it's probably the producers are telling him to say that because he's like, oh, of course they know what a fucking TV sounds like. Of course they know it wasn't a shadow from a car going by. It's noon, But anyway, he still has to ask it. And I feel bad for him when he does.
So this fucking job. I'm fucking out of TV.
Well, I think he likes the job. He's been at it for a long time.
I know that. You know what I mean. I know. I love Steve.
I do too. So Sue also says that in the shower, somebody rubbed her arm. Yep. And another time I know. And another time she felt something touch her inappropriately while she's sitting on the couch next to her husband. So now he's mad too, because he's like, who's touching my woman, So yeah, Amy, she sees the Native American warriors. And I remember she says that when she gets there and gets out of the car, they're all standing like in a line with their bows and arrows drawn like at her. But then she talks to them.
Yeah.
And they are protecting the land. They are there to protect the land. And then she sees this really tall thing outside the house that's trying to enter the house. Matt asks her how tall, and she points basically to the top of the house. She's like, oh, about that tall. And she's like pointing to the rafter on the top of the second floor.
Oh my God.
And then she describes it. It's dark, kind of human, definitely not ever been human though. Creepy, tall, the head juts forward, long neck, shoulder blades and spine thing that sticks out, long fingers, and they drag their fingers along the side of the house.
No.
And it has pointy teeth. So there's your nightmare fuel.
Next time we're recording at noon.
Yeah. That's a bad one. And it growls.
Oh, well, because of course it does.
Of course.
Why can't they ever like purr like a kitten?
No.
It's always growling like a bear and a cougar.
A booger.
A booger.
Yeah. So then Matt asks what they want. And Amy says they want the kids.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
And then she's walking around and she's talking about like what the kids hear and stuff. And she's talking about the little boy who's scared.
Yeah.
And she's in his room and she goes, yeah, he hears like a weird growl sound. And then, and she makes this really funny, like, sounds. So yeah, then she goes into the little boy's room and she says she sees him sitting there on his bed and he's crying because he's so scared.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go to Steve and he's talking to Sue, the mom, about how the little girl Brooklyn is affected.
Mm-hmm.
And they cut to Amy, who says that there is a line of people coming out of Brooklyn's room, down the hall, down the stairs, and outside, dead people, basically a parade of dead people that are coming through the house because they want to be moved on. And they are in her bedroom. So
Brooklyn's like a sensitive, like a medium.
Yep. So Steve is talking to Joe and talking about his grandparents living there. His grandparents lived there the whole time since he was a little guy, and he grew up across the street. He had some experiences when he was little, but he kind of shrugged them off.
Right.
His grandma passed in 1997 in what is now their bedroom, his and Sue's bedroom.
No, thank you.
Yep. She died of emphysema, which then turned into bone cancer, which I don't know how that's possible. I meant to ask my friend Jody, who's a nurse, if that's possible. I don't, but he said it several times.
Yeah.
That it was emphysema, which led to bone cancer. Maybe, I don't know.
I got nothing.
He loves his grandparents a ton. He talks about his grandfather who died in 2001, also in the house on the kitchen floor, to be precise. He doesn't know how he passed on or why. There was no autopsy or anything, but he was a hardcore smoker. He was 75. And Grandpa was a hardcore Sicilian.
Italian.
So he says his grandparents would not want him to give up.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say his grandfather might have died with something connected to smoking.
Yeah. So he says that, like when Steve says, well, what if Amy says you have to move or you should move? And he's like, well, I would want to fight. I don't think my parents would want me to give up. At which point I hollered at the TV. They also don't want you to be killed by demons and shit.
Yeah. Or your children to be.
Go
insane because of demons or dead people.
Right.
Priorities, Joseph.
Come on, Joe. Get with the program. So Amy sees an old man who's 70-ish, Italian, and a heavy smoker. And he died.
Who could that be?
He died in 1990s to early 2000s. Remember, Joe's
2001
died in 2001.
Yep.
She thinks it's a heart attack or maybe emphysema because she says, I can't breathe for shit around him.
Yeah.
Then they show Steve talking to Joe and he says, I don't really want the kids to be affected. I just want things to stop. Oh, this is where he breaks down and says about his wife. She means everything to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And cue to me bawling my eyes out. So I cried through a lot of this one. It was very emotional.
Yeah.
Steve does his Steve research and he sees a guy, I was going to say gynecologist. Oh boy, I think I need
that's some dedicated research.
Oh my God, I almost did a spit take. Steve
quick joke. It's totally inappropriate. What do a gynecologist and a dog have in common?
I don't know.
I'm so sorry. They both have wet noses.
Oh God.
I'm so sorry.
Gross. Okay. Anyway, Steve sees a genealogist.
There we go.
And he talks about this. He learns about this family, the Kobler family, who lived on the land before Joe's family lived there. And they, quote, suffered enough tragedy to last 10 lifetimes.
They usually do.
Yeah. And Henry Kobler is the guy that they're talking about the most. His dad passed away and basically sold him to slavery. They were white, but sold him to slavery to work on someone's farm. That was in his will that somebody in the farm gets his son as a farmhand. But then the mom did finally get him back after 5 years. His grandmother was gored by a bull while she was picking berries.
What?
Yeah. And then there's more. He loses a bunch of children, which I don't really want to get into.
Thank you.
It's not like horrible, but it's just,
child
not that necessary.
Yeah.
And he doesn't see any of the children or anything.
Yeah.
So they've moved on and everything's fine.
Good.
But he does find out about this bloody battle in the French and Indian War that took place on this land.
Is that where all the Native American soldiers came from?
Yeah. So then Amy, she sees a woman who she says died poorly. She got her head chopped off or ripped off. And she says, this is not a clean cut. It's very messy. So I'm gonna guess that's the bull, the lady that
got gored.
The bull. She says no one is safe here. Everyone is at risk. Everyone knew that people shouldn't live in this area. The natives want to clear the area of living people, mostly for their own good, I think.
The native spirits.
I'm sorry.
The native spirits want that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the natives are showing her things outside the house with the
nails and the teeth. Yeah.
Nails and the teeth that they are killing children.
How?
I don't know. She didn't really get into that. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But she sees this battle with people getting their heads bashed in by natives, but it's not just natives against each other. It's part of the French Indian War. So it's French. Yeah. French, I guess. So the sketches, this is where Amy describes so this is the reveal. Amy describes the old lady and the old man she's seen in the house, and she describes the man. And as she's describing this to them at the reveal, Steve is floored by how precisely Amy is describing the grandfather. He's Sicilian. He's a heavy smoker. And Joe is crying at this point.
Yeah.
And so is Sue. And then when they look back at Steve, I swear Steve's eyes are red too. Like there's not a dry eye. Everybody's bawling.
Mhm.
And then Steve, so sweet, he asks, is it okay if I show the picture of your grandfather?
God,
And
he's
because
such a
Joe's pretty
softie.
shaken up.
Yeah.
And so they show the picture of the grandfather, and Amy goes, oh, well, I did do a sketch of who I saw. And Steve pulls out the envelope and says, oh, geez, it's your grandfather. Trust me. And I printed out, took a picture with my phone, and I have to move this so I can see what you can see, but there's a photograph, and that is
my
the sketch.
God.
It is identical.
It's like the sketch artist was looking at that picture.
I know. Look at the wide nose and the bushy eyebrows and the square jaw.
Yep. And the square jaw. Yep. That nose.
And so everybody was just floored. Everybody was floored by that picture because it was identical. So then Amy says the grandfather is there and he's watching over the little kids. And Joe says, that's how he was with me when I was a little guy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
I know.
I would be sobbing.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
And then Amy asks for the kids' names and ages. And she says when she's in the little boy's room, she sees him crying because something's touching him. Not a good place for kids. In the other room, which is Brooklyn's, she sees this line of people out the door. One woman is kneeling at the bed, and there's a line of dead people down the hall, down the stairs. And she says, whether this child knows it or not, she's a medium and she's helping people move on in her sleep.
Mm-mm.
And then Joe says, I fucking knew it. And he talks about how Brooklyn wrote a book a few years ago when she was about 5 called Blood Drops Everywhere.
Ooh,
and it was a really graphic story, and it scared them.
Yeah.
And Amy said, it's not unusual for children who are mediums to act things out with dolls or writings or stories that would be more appropriate for adults.
Yep.
And then Amy talks about this thing that's at the side of the house, very tall and hunched.
I don't want to see it.
It's the knocking and banging, and it's trying to get in. And Steve, right on cue, says, I'm trying to figure out what the hell this thing looks like. And Amy says, well, I did do a sketch.
Oh my God, it's almost like it was scripted.
It's almost like it's so convenient.
Oh my God, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Yeah.
It's not actually that bad. It's not that graphic.
You might need to text this to me.
Oh yeah, sorry. It goes like this.
No. Look at those shoulder blades.
Yeah. Long. The head is what's so creepy. The head just sticks out like straight forward instead of up out the neck. Yeah, it's creepy.
You said it wasn't that bad.
Well,
you lied.
I just wanted you to look at it. It's pretty creepy.
It's so creepy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Thank God they can't see that. Can you imagine looking out your fucking window and seeing that?
Well, so when the parents saw that sketch, Sue, she just goes, oh, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And then she goes, I don't want to look at that. And she's standing like, shielding her eyes the whole time, not looking down at the table. And then Joe tells about how Sue just a few days ago saw that thing walking across the lawn.
Jesus.
So Steve flips it over because he can see that it's really bothering
She's upset. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's where it gets real. Steve says he's never seen her sketch anything like that before.
Yeah.
And he says, are they human? And she says, no. They've harmed children in the past, and they're very old, and they're focused on the sun. She talks about Brooklyn being a lighthouse for the dead. Mm-hmm. Some of them don't want to leave, but Brooklyn needs to let them talk about what they want, the dead, and open a line of communication with the dead, and Amy suggests that everybody keeps a dream journal. Mm-hmm. And Sue just loses it. And she goes, I didn't tell this to anybody, but Brooklyn, like just a week ago or something, Brooklyn asked us all to keep dream journals and write our dreams down.
What?
And Steve's like, so it sounds like she's ahead of the game. And Amy's like, oh yeah, she wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
And now everybody's crying.
Yeah.
So she says they have to do a protection. They have to contact a shaman to remove the dead who are there. She gives them black salt to put at the entrances to all the bedroom doors. She says they should build a stone fence following the property line to keep the bad out. Then Steve asks about the tall creature. Is that going to take care of that big creepy tall thing? And Amy says no. And she says they have a situation that she has never seen before. And while she was doing the sketch, she got super upset about it because she was being told while she was doing the sketch that it was some type of alien.
A what now?
An alien.
Oh
And it wants, there's more than one of them, I guess. And they're trying to get the living people to leave.
Why? Did they tell her why?
No, I mean, I guess they're in the way, especially since one of them's a medium.
Yeah.
You know, Amy says, you know, it later to the camera, she says she's not sure what they are. They could be from another world or another dimension. And she's going to refer the family to some experts and perhaps they will have some suggestions, but she doesn't have any way to get rid of it.
Wow.
And then Steve says, what about the grandparents? And she's like, oh, they're good. They're just hanging out.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but don't they want to move on?
Maybe that, you know, I would assume that was a nice little dance. I would assume they don't if they're, you know, they probably want to, especially with all this activity, they might want to protect the kids.
That's a really good point. And maybe once the activity is gone and they could get rid of that alien thing, then maybe they'll just leave on their own.
Yeah.
So they promise they're going to do what Amy suggests and do everything they can do. And then the tag at the end, Joe and Sue have contacted the shaman, are awaiting his arrival.
Good.
The activity continues.
It always does.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
You should have gone first. So I can get those things out of my mind.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so creepy.
I won't text it to you tonight then.
Oh, you can. The grandfather one wasn't creepy. That was, and that's really nice to know. I think I've told you about the spirit that followed me for 10 years, and his name was Frank, and I think he saved me from a lot of situations that could have been bad.
Yeah.
So not all spirits are bad. Some are really good.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I lived in that house that definitely had some activity and I was never scared.
Oh, see, I get scared a lot.
I mean,
I don't know why
I was like, who the hell was that?
Yeah.
But I never felt in danger. I never felt scared.
I never felt in danger. I was just freaked the fuck out when I see a shape next to my bed.
Yeah.
And then I think it's my partner. And then he walks in from going to the bathroom. And then I'm like, who the fuck was that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I never felt like I was in any danger. But I definitely, he was there. I mean, I could feel him and saw him. But yeah, I think he saved me from a lot of bad situations.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably did.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you giving us your time. If you enjoyed it, please tell your friends. And if you hated it, you probably didn't make it this far. But if you did, please keep it to yourself. Feel free to contact us on our socials or via email. All of the info is in the description. We hope to see you next time when the activity continues.
Okay. Join us next time when Megan will cover season 2, episode 6, which is called Final Curtain Call.
And Amy will cover season 7, episode 5, called Consumed on Hulu, or called The Darkening on Wikipedia.
Yeah, we're not really sure why they're different.
Yeah.
Okay. See you next time.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Activity Continues podcast. We really appreciate you giving us your ears for a bit. Please feel free to drop us a note and say hi. And join us next time when the activity continues.
Nailed it.
The Activity Continues is produced by me, Amy, at Collected Sounds Media, and is part of the independent Collected Sounds podcast network.